What is going on, Blerdverse, and welcome back to another episode of FTB. My name is RJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host Trey.
What is going on?
And Jake, what's up, man?
What is happening?
Today we are going to be breaking down the finale of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and joining us to help us break down this episode are good friends of the show. We have Kilar Cam and Monique from Blerd Up. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Hey. Thanks for having us again.
Glad you guys decided to come back. We love when y'all come on. A lot of jokes, a lot of insight, and we just love having y'all on. So can't wait to dive into this finale that we've been waiting to get to for forever. I know we talk backstage and where it's bittersweet, it's over, but we're kind of glad it's over because we're glad for the break on content. So, so I can't wait to dive into this. So before we get started, I just want to get everybody's overall thoughts on this finale and whether it met your expectations or not. We'll start with our guest, Kilar Cam and Monique.
You can go ahead, Cam.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I mean, for what it was. I mean, if you put fighting, especially like 45 minutes of fighting in front of me, like I don't have time to focus on, I guess, the story. So I was okay. On second watch, a little just whelmed. But I mean, at the end of the day, we got our captain, so I'm happy.
Okay. What about you, Mo?
I feel completely and fully satisfied. I'm sorry. It even reminded me when I see this big picture of Anthony Mackie in this new Captain America suit that you have in the background here. It excited me all over again because seeing him in this suit, every time I watched this episode like 5 times already. I'm sorry, y'all. But every time I saw him like in this costume, I'm like hype all over again because I'm like, yes, that's my Captain America. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't care about the writing. I don't. Y'all gave me what I wanted, what I needed. I'm happy.
Okay. What about you, Jay? What'd you think?
I'm with Mo.
You with Mo. That's all you got to say. With Mo. Put it on the t-shirt. What about you, Trey?
Man, I thought it was like Cam was saying, you put action scenes in front of me. I'm with it all the way. Second time watching through, I was like, I wish we might have got a little more story, but it's fine either way. Regardless, I was fine with it.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like you guys too. I more so care about the writing, so I was a little meh on it. But like I said, we talked, off screen and stuff like that. It felt like one big action scene, which was okay for what it was. But I felt like, we could have got a little bit more in the writing, but like y'all said, we got our Captain America that, should have been from the beginning. We got some loose ends tied up. We got some questions answered. So, I think it was a very good wrap up to a very exciting season. I definitely say this show caught me by surprise. I was not expecting to enjoy the show as much as I did WandaVision, but lo and behold, I was here every week ready to go. The pacing was a little bit faster, so I enjoyed, this whole season, and I enjoyed this finale. So I guess let's start out with talking about the action scene at the very beginning, but I wanted to kind of get you guys' opinions on the whole Sam, when he said the phrase, I'm Cap. He was like, the guy was like, who are you? And Sam said, I'm Captain America. So what do you think was the defining moment that made Sam want to actually be Captain America? What do you guys think of the suit? Did you think the suit helped Sam, with his fighting skills? Because we all know Sam don't got no hands. There was a lot to process. So what do you guys think about that whole thing and then the overall action sequence? I'll start with Jay.
Man, this first action sequence, I love the suit, and I think the moment for me to define him as Captain America was when he probably opened up the chest in the last episode, which we didn't see because he knew it's like, okay, like it's go time now. So last episode, I think he defined himself as Captain America because we saw him with the training and stuff. But this sequence was cool. I mean, we'll talk more stuff about him not having hands because it's true. But when he did get that opportunity to first show off the suit, I was like, oh yeah, that's my Captain America, hands down. And other than that, I mean, really just we're seeing the slow development of our Captain America more than Steve Rogers, because we kind of see him in 3 movies and it's like he's right there already. We're seeing a little more development with Sam, which I kind of like because he doesn't have power, so he has to work a little bit harder. So kind of like seeing him be built from the ground up.
Okay, understandable. Trey, what'd you think of everything?
Man, overall, I thought the season was dope, and then I feel like Sam's defining moment, like when he was like, "Yeah, I'm Captain America," was probably in the last episode, like right after his big flips montage. Was like,
do a flip.
I'm Captain America. It's time to do it. But, yeah, the suit was super dope. Yeah, it's overall great.
Cool. So Cam and Mo, I'll start with Cam. So what do you guys think of the suit? Do you think the suit helps Sam with his fighting skills anymore? You know, because it has some Wakanda origins. Do you think the ancestors kind of was in that suit? You know, what do y'all think about the suit and everything that happened in the action sequence?
Absolutely. So we knew Wakanda was going to trick that suit out just because, again, they had the opportunity to take that shield and Io was like, nah, leave it because Sam's going to have it. Just leave it right there. So they tricked the suit out. And I think I was happy that Sam probably finally accepted it. I guess that's what I'll say. So his suit was like the full embodiment of him being Captain America. They did something really interesting with him. I want to say maybe through his physicality, because we know he can't fight. But what they did was they showed his growth by him adapting his fighting style. Instead of doing what every super soldier, sans Steve, would do, brute force, he was more agility. So his was more exactly. So he knew he needed to move quick and he needed to move. How do I want to say? He just needed to be tricky. He needed to be a hard target. And I think he accomplished it. So I was happy to see it.
So instead of taking the punches, he learned to dodge them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even the way he caught the shield is different. Because he knows if he gets hit in the head with that shield, he's down. It's a wrap.
It's over. So he's gone.
Yeah, just the minute things they did with that, showing him when he was practicing and him dodging it. It's like, okay, there's a real fear here. If you get hit with that shit, you're down. Like, that's it. So I appreciated it.
Then and gone. Mo?
Yeah, man, I'm with Takara and Don Mega. Them flips came in hand, like they were handy during his fight with Carly and everybody else. But no, like I think the defining moment was last where he was like, "Yes, I'm Captain America." I felt like there were many people who knew he was Captain America before he even knew he was Captain America, but he finally took that step in accepting that flips can save lives.
Flips do save lives.
Yep. Yep. But I felt like he was the last person to accept that he was that captain. He is Captain America. I absolutely love everything about his suit. And I love the way he adapted his fighting style to being that he is not a super soldier. He knew, like Cam was saying, that he had to be a little bit more tricky in his fighting style in order not to get hurt when fighting super soldiers. So he made those adjustments. Again, this show, it's about making, well, not only, but it is about making adjustments when you need to see him working with the shield the way that he did. There was scenes where he was like flying in the air and the shield would shoot off his back and he'd go and catch it, or he'd throw it out the window and go catch it. Like those were some of my favorite scenes in this series because it's a new way of somebody just handling and working with that shield, and he did it spectacularly.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty dope, and I swear to you guys, like I've watched this 5 times, and every single time I'm just like up like cheering for this man because I'm so happy that we do have finally. I can see him in MCU like Black Captain America. Yeah. So
I'm really proud of Sam. Because in the beginning, the first episode he gave the shield away and Rhodey even tried to, talk to him and get to the bottom of it. I feel like he kind of had to go through his own journey of you know, understanding what it means to be black in America and what to see yourself as not just black in America, but a black American. And I feel like he kind of went through this journey of understanding to where he kind of collected, excuse me, not collected, that's the wrong word, to where he kind of, you know, I don't know. I feel like he went on this journey and he really understands and he's proud to be, I guess he had to find his pride in America again. Because I think that what Carly said one thing to him, she said, like, out of all people, you bought into this bullshit. And then Sam, God, tired. Sam replied something about, you know, I'm doing something new. And, you know, it was like, I feel like Sam really understands what it means to be Captain America now.
Yeah. Papa Doc done come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long
But
way from
isn't
8
that kind of
Mile.
like the overarching theme of the series is pretty much not being what people tell you you have to be, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Sure.
I was also watching this other day. I saw a random video of Stan Lee, and it was correlating to like the Marvel universe, and he was saying Marvel always correlates to what's going on in the real world, and I feel like that this show was a great representation of kind of what's going on in the real world. Just, you know, whether they dropped in something subtly, you know, about understanding of black culture, or, you know, when they put it right into your face with the police scenes and
Yeah.
Sam being like, I'm literally black Captain America and people hate me for that, you know. So I thought that that was really cool, and it just goes to show Stan Lee was such an awesome person.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day
Yeah.
too. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's just Marvel does a great job of, just like I said, just defining what it is to be a hero, but a hero that could be a human or someone who doesn't look like us. So it comes on many platforms of trying to reach out to different people to make you feel like, you know, like Stanley said, you're watching everything outside your door. So, but let's get into this next part. So before we talk about Sharon, before we talk about that, we got to talk about something real quick. So there's two parts we'll talk about within one. So we saw that whole fight scene, and then we get into the part where U.S. agent also shows up. But before we get to that too, we get to the part where Carly is talking to the whole people saying, like, to the Flag Smashers, excuse me, and saying, okay, you know, hey, one power, one people, right? And everyone's just kind of like, and she's like, Dad, one power, one people. And then everyone's like, yeah, one power, one people. Yeah. And in this moment, it was kind of like, I felt like she was by herself, and they were still with her, but I still think this moment was kind of defining like what was going to happen to her and that she was going to die. Yeah. It was kind of like a fate. But I want to ask y'all if you're feeling the same way as me. So, RJ, did you think in this moment defined Carly, like you knew she was going to die? And also, what did you think about the U.S. agent and Carly fight?
I mean, I think we pretty much knew from the beginning Carly was going to die. I think Cam had called it very early on that she was going to kill someone and it was going to send her over the edge and radicalize her. And, you know, that's what it did. She followed the typical route that people who usually go through radicalization or become terrorists go through. You have a cause, you know, you're passionate about, and you just go a little bit too far. And I think what separates somebody from who just has a passionate ideology from somebody who's radicalized is radicals are willing to die for their cause. And I don't think that people understood that Carly was a radical until we saw she was willing to die. I don't think they understood that they were dealing with a radical until Carly said, yeah, we're willing to die for this. And that's when they were like, you can die.
Yeah, exactly.
You can lead the line to hell. I'm not going to die.
I'm not with this no more.
Like that awkward silence and the crickets, I think that's when they realized it was like, yo, like this chick is really like off her rocker. Like she really want to die for this. I was trying to just pass out some food and she trying to kill people. And I think that's kind of what we realize is that Carly is killing Marmar made Carly cross over from someone who just had a really good and passionate, you know, stance on something to being somebody who was labeled a radical and a terrorist, because that's what she became throughout this series. She became a radicalized terrorist.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer.
Banner up. Okay, there we go. Go ahead, y'all. My bad.
Oh, that's fine. No, I mean, I agree. We'll get into like the whole government speech and more into what, you know, radicalization and all that means and stuff as far as government.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. So, but yeah, no, we'll get into that government aspect in a little bit. But no, I think you answered that great, RJ. I think, you know, it's just she was labeled as that, but was she, like, you know, that's the thing, like what defines good and bad, and we'll talk about that. But Cam, I know you said this before, but I want your a little more thoughts on it. Do you think this was the moment, even before you knew she was going to die? Do you think this was the defining moment that she was going to die?
Actually, no. I think the speech, so when Sam was initially talking to her and Walker interrupted them, at that moment I knew she was gonna die, because she wanted to die for it. If you say in your head, I'm gonna die for this cause, you have every intention of dying. Mm-hmm. Therefore, your actions aren't checked. So she wilded out. So at the end of the day, I mean, if you have that thought in your head, then you're going to be careless. It didn't even matter the end goal. I was telling Mo, I was like, her plan don't even make sense. It's stupid. Like, you can't kill hostages and expect them to change. They're just going to come after you. What's your end game? There was none. So she died for nothing. Which is it's like, you stupid. I was like hoping the Black Flash Smasher was like, girl, is your hair too tight? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not like, I would have exited stage left, and I was hoping one of them would say like, no, you on your own, but they didn't. So I guess it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I mean, what they did, and I guess we'll see how this plays out in the future. All they did, if there's anyone that's still holding on to that ideology that she had, they didn't do anything but create a martyr. You know?
Yeah.
Sure.
So
yeah. No, I don't disagree with that, because, you know, it's just, you can't go around just killing civilians and taking hostages.
It didn't make sense. There was nothing to gain. Like, seriously, there was nothing to gain from that.
And see, that's the problem. Like, I love the action, but I think that's kind of the problem that I had, was it kind of like made the motivation of the characters kind of weird. I just didn't understand what her end game was. Like, so like, what do you? There's a helicopter here. There's a truck with them here. I just didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that the fact that, like, she was causing all those destructions, because we'll talk about it in a second, but I think she was trying to make some kind of noise to the point where the government or someone's going to hear her out and be like, you know, crying out, because you can just, if you say something with words, people aren't going to do anything. But if you let people know that you're serious about something, you're going to make some kind of noise. And I think that's what this situation might have been, but we'll talk about it in a second. Trey, I'm going to save you for last. Mo, what do you think about this scene? Do you think she was going to die in this part, pretty much?
I had an inkling about it way back when she blew up those GRC people in that building without no warning. I had a feeling like when you kill that many people, unless you're, I guess, Winter Soldier, but when you kill that many people, most likely it's not going to end well for you. Yeah. So like I think I even joked on this on the video that we have for it. Like, when she was like telling her people, like, one world, one people, if we have to, we'll die for this. I would have been like, let's go get them. And then, like, when everybody ran ahead, I'd turn around and be like, you know what? Let me get on out of here. Like, yeah, but I'm on board with what Cam said. She was trying to, I feel like she was trying to use so much force, and no matter what happened, you know, how many people got killed, she just wouldn't make the adjustment to be like, okay, what I'm doing is not working. Let me switch it up. That's what Sam was trying to, you know, tell her, like, hey, I understand where you're coming from. I understand your issues. Let's switch it up a little bit and do something different so we can, you know, have people listen to you and you can get what you want. But for some reason, she just would not listen to Sam. She kept trying to use that force and just, you know, kind of push her way through things. I didn't mean for that to. Anyways,
No, I know
she
what
just
you
got.
meant.
Yeah, it just looked weird. I'm sorry, y'all. She
That's a
just,
superhero pose.
yeah. But she just tried to force her way, like, and she just never let up. She never changed. She never thought about it. I feel like she didn't think about the people that she was affecting around her either. Like, again, yeah, we're willing to die for it. Yo group just paused and was like, what? Like, take that into account. Like, listen to your people. Maybe it's not the right step to take if you got to force them to be like one world, one people. Okay, girl, come on now.
That's like me saying Blerd is Bond, and y'all like quiet, and I'm like, Blerd is Bond.
But yo, one thing I do want to call out, let's be real, because one of my friends was talking to me like they didn't need Zemo in this show. They absolutely did, because he narrated the show. If you think about it,
he did.
He showed Carly with the super soldier serum, Walker with the super soldier serum, who they are as people and what their plan for to use this power, basically this supremacist mindset, versus you have Sam on the other end, just a regular dude, and how he was able to use diplomacy and just like common sense to like get some of this resolved, you know?
Exactly. And that's what it comes down to. A lot of common sense is not common no more, Cam. So
right.
Let's just say that.
Yeah. But Zemo called it.
Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying. No, I agree with the whole narration, because he definitely like drove these people to where he kind of wanted to be. And Zemo's smarter than we think he is. You know, he's doing something sneaky already. So, but Trey, do you think this is the moment that you knew she was gonna die, or was it before that?
So I'm kind of with Mo. The moment that I knew she was gonna die, the minute that she had blew up the GRC building. But I didn't think that she was gonna die how she did. I really thought that it was gonna be US agent, because she did end up killing Lamar, and then I just thought that was gonna be a whole thing, and he was gonna end up killing her, and then he was gonna be like, oh my god, I killed this bitch. And so I did think that she was gonna die, but yeah, I thought it was gonna go differently.
I agree, but before we get to the next part, let's just get out all the jokes now with John Walker, U.S. agent, because I got some stuff to get off my chest. I'm sorry, that plastic shield is making me so mad. All these memes with him, like, you know how it's like those Ford commercials, like, oh yeah, Ford built tough, and it's like they had like the metal and stuff, like the equipment. It's like, it shows a picture of him like building the shield, but it turns out to be like this plastic toy, like he got from Toys R Us or something. And I'm like, dude, your shield is not effective here. Like, like those memes, like in Lord of the Rings, like, you have no power here. It's kind of like that situation for me. But what do y'all think about this?
I know we were talking about it a little bit the last show, but I knew the minute that someone was gonna punch that thing, it was gonna break. And the minute someone punched it, there was a big ass dent in that thing, and I was like,
it was
like when you punch a Dodge Neon. Like it just folded.
Like it was like you even saw in the episode where it fell on the ground, and it just looked like paper just like falling to, like, it ripped apart so easily. I was like, you don't get that Party City shield out of here. Like, why did you bring that? That didn't help nobody. Why did you bring that to the fight?
But yo, the part that made me laugh was when Carly knocked it out the sky. Do you know this chick smiled and laughed? She was like,
yeah. And the thing was, I think John Walker was like, it'll come back to me like that vibranium shield. That shit said,
it was like a little bit of shock on his face when the shield didn't come back. It was just enough to like laugh. I think that's why Carly was like, "You go ass."
She literally said, like, "You fake ass Captain America." She's like
he really thought it was gonna come back to him. He was like, dude, you don't have the technology. First off,
Yeah.
that thing hit the ground. That thing was spinning like a dreidel. Like, please get out of here. Like, you're not gonna do anything about that.
You know, John Walker was sitting there like, I thought I was a better welder than this.
Hey Trey, if it's Ford built tough, you gotta cross out the tough and just say Ford built, because you don't know what the hell you're gonna get after that.
Oh god, that was terrible.
They got the Ford too. It's just built.
I think somebody said last week that it was made out of like Sprite cans or something like that. I forgot who said that in the chat, but somebody said it was made of Sprite cans.
Oh,
goodness.
But what was he like? What did he expect though? Did he think it was just gonna have all the same properties as the one that he had before?
Because he has this mindset where he thinks he's Captain America, but he's not Captain America.
Like, bro, you melted a muffin pan. And,
Yeah.
and then into it. What did you think was gonna happen?
Hey, you know what? John
Hmm.
Walker did finally one thing that I would say the Steve Rogers would have done as Cap. He saved the hostages instead of going after a flag smasher. And I was like, okay,
yeah.
now we have something that I can be like, now you can. I mean, you're not going to get the role of Captain America, but if you had done this from the beginning, maybe I would have been more accepting of you in this role. So, question for y'all: do you think after what he did there, do you think that this was maybe his change in character, like his little character development? And you think in future things, maybe he'll be more of a more Captain America-ish U.S. agent, or he's just gonna keep doing the things that you were doing in previous episodes? I'm gonna go with Cam because you look like you got something to say.
So, like, not for nothing, and again, we're talking about the character, not Wyatt Russell. We love Wyatt Russell, so let's get that straight.
Absolutely.
The last episode, Walker was on a performance improvement plan, basically, because it was just garbage. But I really like what they did with his arc here, because there was this moment where you thought he was going to go for the revenge. Instead, he took the more heroic, how do you want to say, the heroic path. John Walker, like Carly, can be controlled. They're not leaders. If they're left to their own devices, shit's just going to blow up. But if you have someone telling them what to do, they're probably going to be really good at whatever that task is. So, with that being said, the combination with him and Bucky and Sam working together, I think that changed his mindset. But by himself, he needs to play off of other people, which is why I think Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, whatever her name is, Val.
Yeah, you got it right.
That's why she scooped him up. She's going to basically mold him, but also control him. Have her execute stuff for her. But maybe that's kind of what he needs. That's how I see it.
I'm sorry. Was he working together with Bucky and Falcon? Because it looked like he just tagged along, and they were like, "Where the fuck?"
Basically, but it was little brother and big brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you've got the example set for you, it's easy for you to follow it.
Because it was like, Bucky, they went that way, and John Walker goes that way, and Sam's like, go get his ass, please. I'm sorry.
They're like, no one told you to come. No one to be here. But you know what?
Yeah.
Also, I was gonna say, it's literally in his name, U.S. agent. Agents don't lead. They take orders. You know, they maybe do some different things on the spot, some improv kind of things, but they're following orders. And
For sure.
I think that's totally an accurate thing that you said, Cam. RJ, what are you thinking, man?
Hold on, sorry, I'm reading these comments. My bad. Where were we at? I'm sorry.
Do you think that John Walker is going to be more a better Captain America-ish character? He's going to kind of go back into his role as he was before?
I think that he's going to go wherever the wind blows. I feel like what a couple people in the comments said is what's going to happen with him. I feel like it depends on who he's working for. At the end of the day, he's a soldier, and that's ingrained in who he is. And you can't just pull it out of somebody. He was so upset when they, stripped him of the title because he said, I did everything you asked me to do. He followed orders to a T, even if it, went against his moral compass, his morality, he still did it. So I feel like where he's at right now, I feel like now he may learn his lesson a little bit, and he may kind of question things in his head a little bit more now. But I do feel like he's still going to go ahead and be whoever it is they want him to be. And whether, Val, as we're not allowed to call her, decides whatever path this Val decides to put him on is what he's going to do. But I also feel like he's going to question it a little bit more because he's already been burned, in the past.
I don't think he'll question.
You don't think?
No.
I think in his head, I think he will. I think he'll be like, a little bit. But I don't think he'll outwardly say anything.
He just needs a daddy or a mommy to tell him what to do. As long as he's making them proud, he'll do what they tell him to do.
I feel like if he does question, they're gonna spin it in a way to make him be like, "Oh yeah, this is fine. We're doing it for the right reasons," something like that. But Monique, what are you feeling? You think he's gonna switch sides or kind of go back to the same thing?
I think he's going to be exactly what he is in the comic books, anti-hero. Because you see that, yes, he did make the right choice in, saving the people in the truck rather than going after the flag smasher people. But you still see, even when at the end where he's talking to Val, he gets his U.S. agent's suit, he's still got that twitch, like something's not quite right. He's still got that, so again, he's I think he's just going to be just what he is in the comics. He's going to take orders, go out there and, do what Val tells him to do. And however he has to get that job done is however he has to get that job done. Kill people, hurt people. That's what he's going to do.
It's about the mission.
He's gonna be Winter Soldier, basically, without the brainwashing.
Yeah, not brainwashing, but he's still something's still wrong with him.
I mean, he got brainwashed in the military, so I mean, not everything he was doing was people focused, and that's what it is: mission versus the people aspect of whatever the situation is. He goes in for the mission and doesn't care about the people it involves. So,
but they did do the right thing with his character, making him fight Carly at the end, because in the end, those were the two people in the episodes where I was just like, I don't like them. So if Carly would have went up against, Bucky or somebody right there, I'd been, of course, rooting for Bucky, but they made me root for John Walker more going up against Carly because I just did not like Carly at all in the decisions that she was making. So they made the right choice in, putting those two together in the fight, because I ultimately found myself during that point being like, yeah, John Walker, kick her ass, so.
I felt bad. Like I wanted Carly to just like, guys, you're right. Let me put down my weapons and let's kumbaya and talk it out. Like that would have been my ideal, because I like Carly, but she just wasn't listening. She wasn't having it.
You know what I was gonna say? I think that was the first time where I was like, yeah, I hope John Walker doesn't get his ass kicked this time.
Yeah.
First time for everything.
I was just like, yeah, beat him up. You don't need that. But Jay, final thoughts on this question? You think he's gonna kind of revert back to the dark side, or kind of
give us a little U.S. agent, education there?
Yeah, put us on.
So with Cam, I mean, I agree with Cam and Mo, and I agree with one thing that RJ pointed out as far as him like thinking about something that he's gonna do as far as action. But then I think he will go back to his ways of being like, yeah, I'm still gonna kill you. But in the comics, I mean, yeah, he's just mentally unstable dude who is really is right wing, like, on that kind of mentalities. as far as what the world is. It's mission first, like Cam says, and it doesn't care about the people, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, with even in the comics too, I think that what he does as a human being, like, he just doesn't have a soul. I think he's too mission oriented because of like his, you know, combat training he's had in the past and his conservativeness and his views. And because I mean, he's from the backwoods of Georgia. Like, come on, like, I mean, this dude is like I'm not gonna say the pinnacle, but he's like one of the definitions of like what like America is supposed to be. You know, blonde hair, blue eyed, all that. But I think in the future, I think we're just gonna see him with John Walker as going forward with Val, because I'm gonna call her Val. I don't care if she comes to my house and knocks on my door. Because I'll keep it short because I don't want to talk y'all heads. I can talk about this all day. I'm sure Cam can too. But there's a lot that goes in with John Walker. He's been in so many aspects of like the Avengers, of the Mighty Avengers. He's been in a group called Force Works, which he's led with like Iron Man and Spider-Woman and a whole bunch of other people. And I think that also that what is his motivation is that he's still trying to figure his way into each like corporation he enters. So if he works for Shield, he will like try to stay the ways of Shield, but then he moves on to the next thing. He's like, okay, now I have to be like this. So I think he gets attached onto things to fit his personnel, and he's still trying to figure out who he is. You know, he's still a right-wing asshole, but John is just like one of those people who has been everywhere in the Marvel universe. And he said, "Don't call her Val." John is one of those dudes that been in the universe like everywhere, and I think we're gonna start seeing some ties in with like the whole Madripoor aspect, because that goes in with, as I was telling y'all, like ties with Wolverine, the X-Men. It's gonna tie in with Nick Fury and Shield, because Val had that relationship with Fury at one point. For those of you who didn't know, so I mean, John is gonna like we're gonna see him a lot, and I think I agree with just what everyone says. Just to keep it short, yeah, he may think about the moment he's gonna do something bad, but I think he's just gonna go back and just stick to his bad ways. So,
Jay, I have a quick question for you, because I do not know that much about a U.S. agent, but from what the random things that I've just randomly seen of him, is he comparable to like the Punisher in like ways that he does stuff? Like he's just more radical about certain things?
yeah, he has that like I don't give a damn mentality pretty much, and he definitely. I'll put it like this: he tried to humiliate Captain America at one point in the comics, and because he was trying to take on that role because he thought Captain America wasn't worthy of the shield, and basically he's trying to make his way to do whatever he does to get that dirty work, and he's trying to like get to like to government secrets and have all these aspects of labeling himself as Captain America, but he will never be Captain America. You may have the suit like Captain America. You may be, because in the comics he's actually just as strong, if not a little bit stronger than Cap, believe it or not. So, and there's times where he's killed people in the comics, just like shot him in the head. Like, he's been on the West Coast Avengers, and he's also just he's been kicked off teams because he's done dirty stuff that he's not supposed to do. So that's what I'm saying. I agree with Cam and Mo, because it's just like he's not going to change his ways. He's going to stick to who he is, and who he knows is who he is, but he may try to change, but he's still that right-wing asshole that we all know.
Okay. So let's transition now into something that definitely was one of my favorite moments of this episode, was when Sam ran into, after they saved the day and Sam was speaking with the politicians that, they got out of harm's way. He said, are you still proceeding with the vote? And these mofos decided to say, yeah, we're still going to vote You know, the terrorists didn't slow us down, and Sam just literally just like let out all of his black frustrations out in front of them. I don't know if they were recording, but somebody got that on camera. But Sam said everything we've been saying since episode one about just how you can't do this and how black people are treated, and you know, he said you can't, you know, stop labeling them terrorists, radicals, thugs. You know, I think this whole speech kind of related to him saying things like, or kind of made me feel like America never sees ourselves as the bad guy. Um, you know, he asked them, you know, when you're making these tough decisions, who's in the room with you? The people that are going to be affected or people like you. We just really got to see Sam dig really deep into, I guess, what it means to be an American, not just a black man, but American, because we do have our problems here. It just, the whole scene to me really kind of it summed up everything we were talking about as far as like race relations and wealth gaps in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. So my whole thing is, excuse me, I want to ask you guys, do you feel that Sam, because I want to say there was a area where he said something about, you know, black bands carrying the stars and stripes, and we kind of mentioned this earlier. So do you feel like this was Sam's declaration of him saying that, yes, I am Captain America, whether you want to or whether you like it or not? Or do you think that he's, you know, still kind of he's doing this and playing this role and hopefully will grow into it? Or do you feel like he's accepted it's like, no, Mofo, I'm Captain America, whether you like it or not? We'll start with Mo.
Yeah, I'm Captain America, and I don't care what you think. I don't care if you like it, but this is what it is. Something that hit me really hard when he was talking, Sam was talking to the government officials, was basically that statement that you just said, where he was like, who are the people in this room when you're making these decisions, which really kind of hit me hard, because that's happens all the time today. There could be an overwhelming majority in the US that says, I want this to happen, but when you get into the room with the peoples who can actually make that happen, they say, oh, that's not good for me, so I'm not going to vote for that, or I'm not going to make that happen. I feel like we get into these situations where we vote people in office to represent us, but when they get into those offices, they represent themselves instead of us. And when he said that, that was something that hit me really, really hard, because there's stuff going on in the world right now that needs to change. But when everybody gets in that room to make that vote for that change, it never happens. So, but I think Sam is like, I'm here. I'm Captain America, no black on it. I'm just Captain America. I'm just Captain America, whether you like it or not. I'm here, and I'm gonna tell y'all about yourselves. I'm gonna tell y'all when y'all stuff stink, so y'all can fix it. So
yeah, that's one thing I got from it too. It felt like he's not gonna be the Captain America to be like, oh, well, you know, everything's fine and dandy over here. It felt like he's going to be the Captain America that calls America out on our shit. That's one thing I got from his speech. What about you, Cam?
Yeah, basically the same thing. Like Mo said, it happens today. You know, I still side-eye politicians who make laws and decisions about women's body, and ain't now one of them pushed a baby out of it. Like that, that like irritates the hell out of me. So his speech was like right on point. And then the race relations portion of it needed I needed him to say it. And kudos to Marvel and Disney, because when they said they were going to talk about race relations, I didn't know they were going to go this hard the way they did in this series. I did not know that. So I appreciated the speech in a sense, because he needed to take up the mantle of Captain America. He was already Captain America. He just needed to realize and take it. And now he's in this position to, whether everyone's mindset changes or not, he still have the opportunity to affect that change, you know, and him telling them about themselves was kind of like the first step to be able to say, you don't tell me what I understand and what I don't understand, because my life is not your life. You don't know my experience. Look at John Walker. He killed somebody. Got off scot-free, came back, put on the suit. So now he's freelancing. And then at the end of it, got a new job.
No consequence almost.
No consequence, and was giddy and happy because now he got a helmet that fit. Like, so I'm like, the audacity of this mofo telling Sam that he doesn't understand the way the world works. No, he has a very good understanding of the way the world works and where you're failing.
Yeah.
Fix it.
Powerful. Oh, yeah, you definitely put that. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. I couldn't figure out how to express it, but you said it perfectly. Trey, let's go with Jay because you got the next one. So we'll go with Jay. What do you think?
You know, I mean, I can talk about this speech all day. I mean, it's just off topic, but on topic. You know, think about how the reality we live in now is like, you know, the system that we're in, it doesn't have to be this way. Think about it, because we're getting up, you know, going to our jobs 9 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday, or whatever your schedule is, working all these crazy hours, and it's controlled by someone who is supposedly above us, our superior. There shouldn't be a superior because it should come down to the people. And when it comes down to the people, we go based off the decisions, not you. You're called the 1 percenters for a reason, because you have hoarding all the money in the world to make the 99 percenters work our butts off every single day to make your corporation, foundation, whatever, keep rising up to build your empire. And systematically, he was trying to also explain that power goes so far with trying to take someone's mantle. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say is pretty much capitalism. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but it's just crazy how Marvel is, as Cam was saying, is going this hard on social, racial, and systematic problems in our reality that we live in today. It's the perfect platform to do it. And if people are going to ignore that and stop watching Marvel because it's too real or it's too honest for you, then I'm sorry, you're kind of ignorant, because that's just you're not wanting to engage with seeing what reality is. You're being a zombie. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're like, I know y'all ain't no zombies. So, but the only reason we do it is because that's just the way it is right now. But can things change? Yes, because that's what Falcon is saying. Y'all have to change your ways with empowerment and capitalism and racism and saying that you're better than me because of your skin color and all this stuff I can talk about all day. I'm not going to try to say an MLK speech up here, but that's just my opinion based off how Marvel's done a fantastic job of creating characters that we love, slowly developing them with a story that can continue on and on to develop more characters, Black characters, that we're going to see on the screen. So shout out to Falcon, and now Captain America, and shout out to Monica Rambeau so far.
And one thing that I want to mention too, like you sparked something. This Captain America is going to make America take a look at ourselves, which is what needs to happen, or the Marvel Universe America anyway. He even said, did any of you even ask why did Carly do what she did? Or did you just automatically label her a terrorist and wrong and not even try to fix the problem? And I feel like that's kind of what this new Captain America is going to be doing. Instead of, going with the flow, this Captain America is going to make waves. He's going to tell you what is the problem. He's going to call you out on your stuff. And I feel like that statement that he said, did you even ask her? It's sort of like that meme where they say, like, when you getting jumpy, you're like, damn, what did I do to make this many motherfuckers mad? So it's like, they didn't even ask themselves, like, oh, damn, what do we do to make her blow our asses up? Like, y'all didn't even ask. Y'all just automatically, had an idea of what you wanted to do, and you didn't care who it affected, and you went with it, and that's what led to Carly being Carly.
Well, see, that's the thing, RJ. It's like we, as a country and as people too, we don't ever ask or even try to take something into consideration of coming to a negotiation. We always are blasting first. And when we stop blasting first and start asking, then we can figure things out. So there won't be as much gun violence and all this stuff going on in the world. Because, I mean, this show is too real to not talk about our reality as well, because it's the same thing we're going through every day. It's systematic.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Trey, what do you think about everything?
Man, so what really got me was when the senator was like, "You don't understand," and Sam was just like, "I don't understand," because I think that also correlates to real life too. Because I feel like some senators are like, "You guys just don't understand," and we're like, we're not in a position to not be understanding of these issues. And
Yeah.
Sam is, taking on this huge responsibility of being just a hero in general. Even scratch the fact that he's now Captain America. He's just a hero in general. He has to understand what is going on with the world. He has to know what certain things can happen and who will they affect, and stuff like that. So I feel like that this whole speech that he did was really just very powerful, because not only does it speak to real life, but it also speaks to what's going on in their Marvel universe, because it directly correlates to the snap, the people that came back from being dusted. And it's just, I feel like it is definitely a very tricky situation, but he called him, he's like, "You guys need to do better. There are better ways that we can solve this problem. There are better things that we can do than putting these people into camps and not
Yes.
treating them well." Kind of like how we're dealing with immigration stuff. Like, we're putting people in camps and not really treating them well, and that's not, we need to do better.
Yes.
Better things need to happen, and there are better options that we can
Well,
use.
one thing, well, not to cut you off, one thing he said that was really powerful. He said, "You can change all of this. You can knock down a forest with an email.
Mm-hmm.
You have the money, you have the power. You just don't want to use it for what it's supposed to be used for."
that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. And another example I was going to point out is, if let's say if Trey and I are hanging out, right, and we're just standing, like, we're at your place, Trey. We're just hanging out, and your shoes, we got our shoes off, right, and then I throw your shoe out, and the glass, and it shatters, but it goes out the window or something, right? And then you're like, "What the hell?" And then you punch me in the face, right? But you didn't ask me like why I did that. And I could have said to you like, "Well, there's a spider in your shoe. I just saved your life." So I mean, again, you didn't ask me why I did throw your shoe out the window. Yeah, I mean, it was destructive, and it may have been for like a odd reason. It may have looked odd, but I did it for a reason, because I saved your life, number one, and there was a spider in your shoe.
I'd
So
have been like,
that's what
Jacob.
Carly.
I've
You
been
said
like,
what?
"Jacob, I do, but you paying for all that. I'm sorry."
Oh, hell no! You can get Tony Stark to pay for all that. I ain't paying for that. But no, I'm just saying that, like, that's the thing with going back to Carly's, like, the spider in the shoe reference. It's just that you didn't ask her for 1 second, like, "Hey, like, why are you doing this? Why are you taking hostages?" You use force. So again, we as people and as a country need to do a better job of asking why you're doing this. So
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. And then, so also, I think I'm skipping over one thing, but I really wanted to
Whatever you
talk
want.
about this. I thought it was really important, and it was just a really great scene. Is when Sam goes to Isaiah's house to talk to him, and Isaiah's just like, "I saw what you did there. I was wrong. You are kind of something special." And Sam just like, "Hey, thank you. I'm just trying to do what I can." And then he's like, "Why don't you go get cleaned up? I'm gonna take you somewhere." And he takes him to a super awesome memorial for Isaiah, and it's I believe it's in the Captain America Smithsonian exhibit.
Yeah.
So it solidifies him as a Captain America soldier, you know, someone who has fought equally to do great things for this country as Steve Rogers did. And I just thought that that was really important and just something really great that happened. Because I feel like a lot of our Black heroes, they don't really have a monument like that. And, you know, Isaiah didn't have a monument like that, and now he does. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But it also brought a question to me, ask y'all, do you guys think that they might give Isaiah his own solo movie or his own show or like some kind of spin-off? Because there's something that they can totally use that fits into this current Marvel universe. And I just think that it would work pretty well. So what are y'all's thoughts on that? Jay, I'm gonna go with you first, man.
I would love to see that, obviously, because if, in my opinion, I'll keep it short. If Marvel can do Eternals and go all the way back in time and explain how the universe created itself, you can definitely go back in time to 1940 and tell this lost story of Isaiah Bradley and open up other characters. Like, you can talk about Zemo's family line, you can talk about the Wakandan family line and all that stuff too. So yeah, I'd be for it. Are they gonna do it? I don't know. Anything could happen.
I feel like with the traction that Isaiah Bradley is kind of getting, I feel like they should definitely at least look at it. Because I feel like it would do pretty well. RJ, what are your thoughts on it?
I definitely think that they should. I feel like there should be something where, like, oh well, somebody had mentioned they could do like an Isaiah flashback, you know, or they could kind of like work him into another movie. I do feel like the story does need to be fleshed out a little bit more. We did get bits and pieces here and there, but I do feel like this left a lot to be desired. I felt like I agree with Gerald. They said there should have been more emphasis on this exhibit scene because it was so powerful and he was done so wrong. And I feel like, you know, them giving him a statue was great and all, but also this man has also been hiding for God knows how long. You know, he lost his wife. He lost a lot of things. It's sort of equivalent when someone spends, you know, 40 years in jail for a crime they don't commit, and then they release him and give him $75,000, which isn't enough to even buy a house. You know, so it's like it's crazy. I feel like I'm really happy for him that they gave him that exhibit and in the museum. I really am, but I also feel like that's just the first step in righting the wrongs that were done. You know, all of that is great. Let it, you know, making it so that, you know, history, he won't be forgotten within you know, the lost time to history. It's great. Awesome. Agree with that 100%. But at the same time, what are you going to do for this man to make sure he's able to come out of hiding and live a normal life? I get he's terrified, he's scared. You know, even if you come out to the public, there's still a chance that they can kill you on the low. But I also feel like there needs to be some compensation or reparation, something like that, for everything he went through, because it's sad, it's ridiculous, and it's something that it happens, and it has happened in real life. But I don't feel like we are going to get a solo show or solo movie, but I feel like they need to continue to tie this in some kind of way. He needs to make an appearance. He needs to either be somebody that Sam goes to, you know, the next Captain America movie, just to get some stuff off his chest, get advice. We do need to see more of Isaiah Bradley for sure.
I would like to see him as a mentor, not like a mentor, but like someone he just goes to, kind of like the OG, you know, and just talks to him about like what's going on and stuff, and then how we can work with that, something. So
I do definitely agree, because they didn't say that, or like no one said that he's been brought back into existence, because he's still, I mean, in my eyes, he's still technically dead. Like, he still doesn't like exist in the current world. Like, I mean, his history is there and everything, but he's technically dead.
yeah.
Mo, you thinking about it?
Yeah, I definitely agree. There should have been more fanfare about, you know, Isaiah getting, and I think it should have been bigger. I think there should have been a statue and a couple of walls in the back and some pictures, more pictures of him. I know why there wasn't. You know, they probably didn't want to air their dirty laundry, you know, in front of everybody. But I still feel like that's, yeah. I feel like that's what he deserved. He deserved to be treated just as and celebrated just as much as Steve Rogers was. And I don't think a statue and a plaque or a little stone thing was enough. You know, I think there should have been more. But I definitely do want to see more Isaiah in the future, whether it be them going back to tell the what is it, Truth comic and making that into a series or a movie, whether it be in Captain America 4, you know, Sam going back to, you know, him being a mentor and, you know, they can, you know, share thoughts with each other or whatever, or if it being a mentor to Patriot. I still think that Disney Plus or Disney, Marvel, whoever is trying to set up this series of Young Avengers. So there's 3 ways there, Marvel, that y'all can bring this character back, because I'm pretty sure that the consensus that I've heard about this character is everybody loves him. I love the guy who plays him, Carl Lumbly. He's such a great actor, and I love to see more of him. So any one of those ways, Marvel, come on, like y'all need to bring this man, give him his flowers. Is that what you say when people are okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, am I killing him? Am I?
Yeah, right. That's what I was like.
Yeah, give me flowers while I'm here, not while I'm dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, did I just kill him? Oh,
Yeah.
I definitely do think that they should bring Patriot in, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Patriot Isaiah Bradley's grandson? Isn't that who that's supposed to be in the future, or something like that?
Yeah, because
that's the kid that was at his house that looks like the kid from the Reese's Puff commercial.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I hear Reese's Puff. I don't know why. Beat him up.
Yeah, he's the next Patriot. And another fun fact, John Walker was actually, before he was U.S. agent, he was named Super Patriot because he entered a wrestling federation where he had his first costume as like a patriot in their patriotic like colors, but it was white, like the suit was white and it was like blue on top and like some red like gloves and stuff. So he was Super Patriot before he was U.S. agent. So just a fun fact.
Okay, awesome. I definitely love fun facts, fun comic book facts. That always just makes my day.
You know,
Ken,
I got
what
you.
do
I'm sorry, you cut out for a sec.
Oh, I said, Ken, what are your thoughts about it?
I think the Patriot route is probably going to be the route that they go, because Patriot is going to need mentors, and it's going to be Sam and Isaiah. Just easy. That's the easiest way to do it. Should they have done more for him outside of the exhibit? Absolutely. Would I have done more for him? No, because I don't want to disrupt this man's life any more than it already has. So I think he did just enough to say, we appreciate you. We acknowledge you. Now everybody else knows you. You can live your life without this shadow hanging over you. You know what I mean? They do need to give him some money though, like for real. But yeah, I don't. If they would have went overboard with that, me putting myself in that character's position, I'd be like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I didn't ask for it. Just leave me alone. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Yeah, I feel you on that, Ken. Because I mean, yes, it's nice being acknowledged, but like, you don't got to just give me my damn reparations and we'll call it a day. Like, so yeah.
Sure. Yeah. You want to take the last one about Sharon? You want me to grab it?
I'll go ahead, man. Yeah, so you can relax a little bit. Sharon's the power broker. Y'all were right, and because I think most of y'all were like, Sharon's the power broker, and I said she wasn't. I think Mo, Cam, Trey, were you on that train too of Sharon being the power broker?
I was in the
middle. A little bit. What about you, RJ? I forgot what you said.
I said she was a power broker, but I also was like, well, damn, we thought Mephisto was coming to the WandaVision. We all look stupid. I was like, maybe Marvel's throwing us for a loop. But it turns out we were right. I feel like it was kind of underwhelming to be right. So I see why Marvel did it the way they did in WandaVision. Because once I found out I was right, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's that. You know, but I don't know. It was just so obvious because every scene Sharon was in, she was like, looking over her shoulder. It was like every scene she's in, she was like. So it was like, yeah, I feel like you're the power broker. You look over your shoulder a little too much for you not to be the power broker.
For real.
For you not to be the bad guy. Bad guys look over their shoulders, and she was doing it too much.
Oh
Sharon
yeah.
a little.
Hella
Yeah.
sucks.
I mean, y'all right. I was wrong. I thought that Marvel would have done something else. It could have been someone that we've seen, but apparently, Sharon has been on the low for a minute. Because I mean, really, the last time we saw Sharon was Captain America: Civil War, and maybe like Endgame, but like that at the funeral, and that's about it.
But you know what? I had a question. It just, and I don't know if I need to like take my logic out of it, but why didn't she just call somebody and say, hey, you know, y'all pardoned everybody? Because nothing different happened. Like she could have just asked for her pardon a long time ago when they pardoned everybody else. When they pardoned Sam and Steve, they could have just pardoned her too. Why didn't she call?
I don't think they would have. I don't think that would have been an option because at the end of the day, let's look at what happened. Specifically with the women characters in this series, Wanda got left to her own devices. Ain't nobody checked in on her. What do we think was going to happen with Sharon? Everybody was too preoccupied with whatever happened with the snap and then coming back from the snap. Sharon, which I'm going to go on the record to say, if there was anything I did not appreciate about this series, it was the way that they wrote Sharon Carter. I feel like they've always had this weird thing about her character, just trying to figure out what to do with her. I watched the whole series again from start to finish before we went into this finale. They told us she was the power broker in the end credits. Even like in the scene where she kind of came and saved Bucky and Sam when the hit got put out, that she put out, mind you, on the wall behind them is a huge graffiti that says the power broker is watching. So they told us.
Okay.
But my gripe is this was lazy ass writing.
Yeah.
This was so lazy.
Yeah.
Because like once you confirm that it is her, I'm just kind of like, well, that's bullshit. I would have rather you blended Madam Hydra and the power broker together and you know, made it a little bit more fantastic. However, I see the story. She had to make a living. She no longer had power. She knows the criminal underworld. Let's take advantage of it and build an empire, you know? So I get it from that aspect, but it was just like, I think I could have did a little better with that.
But she ran Magic. She was able to run Magic Pro within 5 years. She took it over in 5 years.
And you think about it, she had no other choice. Her career was gone. She's labeled an enemy of the state, of traitor almost, and everything. She had to do something to survive, which is the theme of this series, is this supremacy aspect. You see it with Carly. I don't care what nobody says. She had her heart in the right place, but there's no way you can tell me that if she were to accomplish what she was going to accomplish, the classism just would have started all over again.
Yeah.
With John Walker, same thing. And with Sharon, it's the same thing. It's all about supremacy. We don't ever start out with those intentions, but out of necessity, sometimes you cross the line and you go bad.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Cam. I mean, you know, we know from the beginning that she's an enemy of the state, and she's not there she's not like damage control trying to clean up any messes. She's not allowed back in the States. Like she can't go back. I mean, obviously then now she can't because she got all the connections and stuff, but I mean, she's just so like she's in another realm where she can't even have certain access to get herself back to where she was in the first place because she can't get across to the States. So
even if she could, if y'all are like me, I'm not taking no chance to go to jail. I'm staying clear. I'm not gonna even let y'all know where I am. If there's the chance that you just might flip and say, nope, you going to the raft, I'm not gonna give you that opportunity.
Oh yeah, you're not sending me to the raft with all those villains.
But I also what I found was weird too. Like but not weird, but I feel like they wrote her to be, I guess, strategic because she had the whole face disguise thing, right? And then she just pulled it off and was like, "They're not checking for me right now." Like what? Like so, I think she waited for the right time to where she can walk around and be free, you know. But it was just weird to me. It was like, so why didn't you just do that before. Like I said, it just didn't make any sense. None of it made sense to me.
Well, she didn't have a reason before, also. So I mean,
well, yeah,
she was fine in her little
power.
corner of the world running it. So
now she's looking for the power broker. She's gonna get more power.
Mo was gonna say
power.
something. I think I know what Mo was gonna say, but
I actually forgot about this because it was lazy. I feel like it was lazy. I felt like I missed something. I felt like when she was revealed to be a power broker, I was like, wait a minute. Zemo said like a few episodes ago that the power broker was a he and that he knew the power broker and it wasn't Sharon. So how did we get here? I feel like there was something that was missed, maybe because of COVID, maybe. I don't know. It was something that was pulled out, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know if that was the direction that they wanted to go originally with this show, or if they had to go with that direction because of, COVID. But it still felt like, there was something that was missing when she was revealed to be the power broker. But on top of what RJ was saying, I was gonna like when she pulled off the little face mask thing that Black Widow used in Winter Soldier. I was like, why didn't you do that and go back and see your brother and your daddy and stuff? Like, I don't understand. Like, I understand you want to run Madripoor and, want to be the power broker, woohoo, but you was up there complaining about Sam, like, I can't even see my dad and stuff like that. Girl, you got...
No, I'm going to give her props on it because the Carter name is big. We don't know how her dad and brother are. They might be like, bitch, you put shame on our family.
Well, why would you want to go see them?
You never know till you get to that point, though. You know what I mean?
It's harder on your whole family.
I know if we are out of the country, we know if we have this little face mask technology, we show up at our mom and dad's house, they're going to be like, hey, you hungry? Come on, sit down, baby.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I think Dad was snitch.
Maybe that's you. I'm the baby. They care about
Sorry,
me more.
Dad.
No.
I agree with both of y'all, Cam and Mo, because I think with Sharon, it's like, Mo, why didn't she just do that? But I think with what Cam said too, it's like, it's hard because somebody probably would have found out because, people aren't that dumb in the Marvel universe and they catch on to things kind of quick. So I think somebody would have found out and be like, you're not who you say you are. Ha-ha, pull out your mask and something like that. But I mean, again, Mo, it's like, you could have just done something on the low and went home and not tell anybody about it. But I don't know. I
have this struggle with her being this badass Sharon Carter, but then like you're afraid of being found out. Like I don't know. I like again. I felt like I just missed something in between.
We did though, because Remy Pond just pointed out there was a few storylines that were cut out of this series. There was supposed to be a virus outbreak. There was like layers to this that they were not able to do. So. If anything, matter of fact, all the way up until this episode, I thought the story was cohesive. It's once we got to this finale where I realized it was a bit disjointed.
Yeah. Batroc threw me off a little bit too when he was like, yeah, you hired me. And I'm like, you didn't know who hired you?
Yeah.
It just always weird to me.
He threw me off because he was talking like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I was like, is that? I was like, is that him or is that Josh St.
GSP
Pierre?
alone?
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell.
It's so hard because I mean, I still think even though they admit she's the power broker, I still feel like there's something that we're leaning towards that we might see later on, like who the power broker might reveal itself as, because maybe Sharon's playing a little game like, yeah, I'm a power broker, but maybe there really is somebody else. Because I mean, there's just so many things that they said, like Mo, you were mentioning with Zemo, or RJ, you were mentioning with Zemo, like he said he is a he or whatever. But then Bucky said in last episode, oh, so you're the power broker. So it's like it's kind of a unweighted scale. It's like, well, damn. Is she or is she like? See, and also like the dude that blew up the car with the with the device and stuff. He's not the power broker, but he has like that kind of look. I know he looks like a hitman.
Zemo's butler that blew up the car.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Was
I
the most
didn't even
popular.
realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it can go any way, but
I think there's more. I hope there's more, and this is not one of those lazy things they're doing. No, I feel like we're going to get to see the rest of this story in another series or another movie. Because one thought I had that me and Mo kind of discussed, like, what if she didn't get in trouble? What if this was just an opportunity for her to infiltrate on behalf of whatever organization and she's just running it on the back end? Let's not pretend that the CIA and the FBI haven't ran some shady operations in the past.
Yeah.
What if it's just for show? And we find out in another series or something that this was all a plan. But then again, this is my dumb ass telling me to wheel it back because sometimes my theories are just too logical.
I do think though how she was talking at the end of the very end of the end credit scene where she was like, I've got access to all this technology now. I do think she is going to show up in Armor Wars with Don Cheadle. That just sounds like the most logical step after hearing that conversation that she was.
Yeah.
Also, like you're talking about like mad illegal shit on the steps of the Capitol, like wow, like
again, that's why I was like, just go home and see your daddy and your brother. Like you doing all this.
Like what?
You know what
also,
made me laugh?
Go ahead, Trey.
You know what made me laugh so much about that? She didn't even wait 5 minutes. She literally got out that building. She was like, "Baby, I got all information."
Right? Like nobody overheard her.
Right. She was still at the podium. I got access to Iron Man's suit. I got access to.
Dang.
All these fools. Like,
yeah, but yeah, that drove me crazy. And it's not just with this show; it's with other like episodes, like movies as well. I feel like they don't know what they're doing with her. You know,
yeah. Her character doesn't really have any kind of direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, in comics, she's done like some stuff with Shield, but I mean, nothing extraordinary, I would say. So I don't know, but would I like to see her be more developed? I mean, if you can develop her to make her a little bit more cool, then yeah, go for it. But right now, I mean, I have to agree with y'all. I just think that there's not really a purpose as far as just this universe. Maybe in comics, but comics and movies are a different thing. So you gotta make stuff fit. I don't think at this moment. I'm not gonna say she doesn't fit in the universe. She's a Carter. That's a long bloodline, but she's not interesting enough to have her move forward.
Yeah. I'll say there's just no consistent characterization with her, and I feel like that what that does is it makes you not interested in the character because you don't know who they are. She's not fleshed out. We haven't got any kind of bond to her. Maybe if we would have saw things from her parents' perspective of missing their daughter, maybe we would have felt for her a little bit more. But other than her looking over her shoulder as she's getting into a car or on the phone, she didn't do anything consistent besides that in the series. So for me, I didn't really feel any connection to her character. Hopefully going, in the future, like most of the Armor Wars, that they kind of like flesh her out a little bit more. Either make us love her and root for her and feel bad that she turned into this, or make us hate her. I feel like that's the only logical thing to do with her character at this point. So yeah, but
I ain't gonna front. She had one of the best fight scenes in the series, so to give her props on that.
Yeah, give her that. She got hands. She got more hands than Sam. That's for sure.
Y'all gonna stop. Y'all gonna stop. This is my Captain America, y'all. Y'all gonna stop talking about my Captain America, all right?
Y'all know somebody actually wrote an article about that. It was like, it's time we admit that Sam Wilson can't fight. There's an article about it. Like somebody wrote and somebody pulled up all the scenes with him getting his ass whooped throughout the MCU. It was like, it's time we admit that Sam can't fight. That it was a good article. I read it a couple times.
I'll say this before you wrap it up, RJ. I'm gonna say this before you wrap it up.
We say Trey?
Yeah, Batroc.
Oh, Batroc.
Because Sharon just killed Batroc immediately, and then he immediately got whooped by Carly too. I mean, I guess he wasn't really trying to fight Carly, but still, he was getting whooped by Carly. Like he couldn't even redeem him.
I'm gonna say this last thing before RJ wraps it up. To back up Mo, I will say that in the first episode he was kicking some butt. Like he was. So I mean, we can't forget. Oh, come on, RJ, hold on.
Now. He beat his ass on that truck. Everybody, they all get their ass beat
No,
on
we
that.
talk about
No,
in the sky when he was in the sky flying with the
Oh,
helicopter.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
that
so,
was
yeah,
episode
okay.
2.
I'm about
And
to say.
he was doing a pretty good job with them super soldiers when Marmar got killed. So like,
That's what I'm saying. Like I mean, if you want to give him, he looked better as Falcon than he does Captain America right now. No offense, because it seemed like he was actually getting some hits in. But when he turned to Captain America, it's like, dang, like can you just like throw one punch that can connect? Like I'm not hitting it at all. It's just like I think it was just they're trying to slowly develop the new Black Captain America. I mean, I had to throw Black in there because again of that whole speech. But I mean, we were talking about
Shayna is stupid. FYI, we love Shayna. Like, we're not saying Shayna. So.
We love Shayna. Yeah, we love Shayna. It's the flip. She's right. That's the answer. It's the flips. I'll end it like that. She's right.
Always do a flip. Always do a flip. That's the moral.
Flips save lives.
That is
yeah,
funny.
I agree with that. If Marmar would have flipped, he'd still be alive today.
Like we said last week, Tony, when he snapped, he would have flipped and snapped, he'd still be here.
Yeah.
Flip.
R.I.P. Marmar, Battlestar.
Listen, Marmar ain't dead. I'm holding out hope.
Gone.
I'm holding out hope that Val brings. I think Marmar is somewhere getting his back worked on. Him and I don't think Carly dead either. I think they're gonna pop up again. If I don't see blood gushing out of your neck, you're not dead.
And Mephisto still is gonna pop up like at some point.
He's gonna be here. Just mark my words, all of y'all.
What's today's date? 4/24, 10:38 p.m.
I'm gonna throw on my shirt and crip walk all across the screen for y'all when it happens.
Mephisto gonna flip on.
Those are our predictions. They're gonna do a flip.
I'll tell you, man. Hey, look at how many times Spider-Man does a flip. Even in Homecoming, he's like, "Hey, do a flip," and he does a flip.
That's funny. Oh man, for those of y'all who missed it, like go back and watch last week's episode review. That you'll get the flip joke or whatever. It's when you're about to die. Do a flip. You'll get it if you watch the last replay. But so before we get out of here, I want to get everybody's rating. So give me a 1 to 5. What did you think of Falcon and Winter Soldier? 1 to 5, and everybody in the comment section too. Drop 1 through 5, with 1 being terrible, 5 being the best. What do you guys rate Falcon and Winter Soldier? We'll start with Trey.
I'm gonna give it a solid 4.
4?
Okay, fair. Jay?
I gotta give it a 5, man, just because the realistic aspect of we haven't seen that much in any Marvel show with racism and social problems. So I just in the action scenes, like the fights, choreography, man, loved it. 5.
Okay. Mo?
I'm right there with you. 5. Everything Jake just said. Except for, the only thing that I didn't like was the whole Sharon Carter being the power broker thing, but I can overlook that. But everything else, just to see Anthony Mackie in that Captain America costume, that's what gave it the 5 for me. So,
okay, Cam,
I'm giving it a 5. Again, I had my issue with Sharon Carter's scene, but I'm. Does it hurt my feelings? Nah, not really. I think it still opens doors for lots of opportunity. I'm with everyone. The subject matter in this show, the fact that we even got this show, like think about how big that is for Chris Evans to be Cap and it just be turned over to Anthony Mackie. That's something.
Yeah,
we ain't seen that shit before. Like
we would have never expected that. Like when MCU first came out, I would have never thought that. They would even bring Falcon in to be Captain America.
Yeah, and just think about even with WandaVision and what they've done with Captain America, they've done a good job of really blurring the lines and make you think about what a villain is.
Yeah.
That's
a good way to put it. Yeah,
Shane said Mackie's costume looked like A-Train's from The Boys. I mean, I do agree with that.
Good.
Copy
so
paste,
5. 5 out of 5.
I'll say I give it like maybe I'll say a 4.7, 4.8. Like I said, the writing a little bit sometimes, and that was kind of it for me. And this finale to me kind of brought it down. I would have given it 5, but the finale kind of brought it down. But like we said, there were scenes missing and taken out. So I give it a healthy 4.7, 4.8 out of 5. So, guys, we did it. We have wrapped. We've reviewed every single episode of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. It has been so much fun doing this with you guys live every Saturday night. We will be doing all the Marvel shows that are coming out. So, yeah, that's gonna be exhausting, but it'll be a good time. We always have fun when we go live. So, before we get out of here, where can we find you at, Trey?
You guys can get me on TikTok and Twitch at Spiderboy Trey. And that's with 2 Y's instead of a Y because it had to be different. You can get me on Instagram at maximum_spider. And yeah, follow me on those things. I post some pretty quality content, y'all.
Cool. Jay, where can we find you at? Hero Harrison.
You can find me at Hero Harrison Talk. My account's been acting up for that one day. It has some issues, but back online. Follow me on Twitch, same thing. Facebook, I'm always posting stuff on there. I'm on TikTok. I'm just not posting too much. My Snapchat is hero.harrison. Starting to get a little more active on things, but just, got a lot going on with podcasts and shows. So that's where you can find me at.
Okay. And our guest, Kilar Cam and Monique, where can we find you guys at?
You can find us at Blerd Up Reacts, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Not so much lately, Twitch, but definitely here in the future. Again, reactions, reviews. If you're digging the reactions, just make sure you drop by. We're rebranding right now. You see, we got merch.
Hey,
got tons of merch going on right now, and we will be doing some giveaways. So if you're down in those comments and we randomly choose you, expect to get a gift package from us.
I'm going to sign up.
Right.
Oh, y'all are getting y'all already hooked up. So
be in them comments regardless. You can follow me at across all social media platforms at Avatar RAJ. And you can also follow us on all social media platforms at For the Blurcher. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the Silverside Network's YouTube channel. We have exciting things coming up. We have women's wrestling podcast that we're dropping weekly with Jess and Wade. We have an open world vlog that we're going to be starting pretty soon. So just stay tuned and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you stay up to date with all of our latest content. Before you guys get out of here, go ahead and like this video so that way, we can get some help with getting our exposure out there. We really appreciate you guys. We love y'all in this chat, man. Y'all be dying.
Yeah, y'all are great. That's the one thing you can't do without them.
Yeah, we can't do this without you. We really, really, really enjoy these lives, even though they are exhausting. It doesn't feel like work because you guys just make it so much fun. And, we will let you guys know when we will be back. But more than likely, we're going to be doing another live for whatever Disney show is next. So please stay tuned. Tell your friends, tell your family, join the chat. With that being said, everyone have a great evening. And always remember that Blerd is bond.
Blerd is bond.
Blerd is bond. I'm not saying it, Carly.
Good night, everybody.
Hey, we ain't gonna see y'all in a month, so yeah.
Yeah. Blerd's bond. See y'all.
Blerd's bond.